At People's State Bank, we promise to protect your money without adding unnecessary fees, to work with your schedule, to answer your questions, even the ones you didn't know you had, to work with you one-on-one so you feel comfortable every step of the way, to keep things simple and keep the decision-making in-house. At People's State Bank, we promise to give you money-saving options, in-house private mortgage insurance, access to specialty products that assist first-time and low to moderate income home buyers through WIDA competitive rates, to value your time, and to keep things moving along as efficiently as we can on our end. People's State Bank, we promise to stay invested in you.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports. Presented by Myers Heating and Cooling and Wolf Construction. And sponsored by Clear Bank, Cuba City Family Dental, Culver's of Dubuque, Goleta, and Platteville, Edward Jones Representative Ben Reeves and Elena Reeves, Fuller's Milker Center, Nutrition World, the Peterson Agency, Raleigh Cheese, the Shoebox, and Tricor Insurance.
Good Tuesday evening from Lancaster High School. Non-conference girls hoops tonight and a very fun matchup at that. Tonight the Lancaster Flying Arrows host the River Ridge Timberwolves. The Lancaster Flying Arrows out of the SWC and the River Ridge Timberwolves out of the Six Rivers West. This is our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling on the X, Extreme 1071, x1071.com, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The Lancaster Flying Arrows riding a 3-game winning streak coming into tonight's contest. They got their most recent wins over Fenimore, River Valley, and the most recent one against Belleville on Saturday, a 68-60 victory where Jessica Morgan went off a 27-point, 10-rebound performance, a double-double for her, and Lainey Burks, 15 points, 5 rebounds, the other player in double figures, the UW Whitewater commit. Going to try and back that up tonight and is in the starting lineup for the River Ridge Timberwolves. They are riding a 4-game winning streak. Their wins most recently over Potosi, Cassville, Benton, Boscobel, and most recently Thursday night at Highland, although River Ridge got a big scare out of the Highland Cardinals. The Timberwolves were up by 17 in that contest before the full court press led to a bunch of turnovers and a bunch of opportunities for Highland to get back into the game. They tied it up with about 90 seconds left in the game before River Ridge was finally able to put the game away and come away with the conference win. Lancaster currently sits in the number 3 spot in the SWC standings. They trail Prairie du Chien, who is 6-0 in the conference, Platteville at 5-1. Then it's Lancaster in a 3-way tie with Dodgeville and River Valley with 2-4 records, but because Lancaster has the better overall record, they sit in that number 3 position. And for River Ridge, they are 5-1 in the Six Rivers West, trailing first place Belmont, who is undefeated in conference play at 6-0 to this point. And River Ridge has a 1-game lead over Shullsburg, who, oh, by the way, they play Shullsburg on Friday night. We have that game for you on 97.7 Country WGLR and also on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Other games we have our eye on tonight, SWC Girls Lacrosse Aquinas is at Platteville. That'll be a fun matchup. Belleville at Dodgeville and Viroqua at Richland Center. We have a boys game over on Super Hits 106 and superhits106.com. Scales Mound taking on Benton. A couple schools who are part of that Benton Scales Mound Shullsburg tryout for football. some of those players from that program going head-to-head tonight. Should be a fun one there. Steve Prestegard and Matt Wiederholt will have the call of that contest in Benton. Our game tonight brought to you by People's State Bank. For personal, home, business, and ag loans, visit one of their 20 area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com, member FDIC. By Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. Trust the pros at Hermson's for assistance with your next ag, commercial, or residential project. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, family owned since 1942. And by D&D Electric in Lancaster, specializing in industrial wiring, maintenance, install, and control. Flying Arrow proud, D&D Electric in Lancaster. Coming up, we will talk with both head coaches. I was able to chat with Ronnie Zinkel of River Ridge and Courtney Feller of Lancaster. We'll get you those interviews next when the Raleigh Cheese pregame show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. Comes back after this on the X Extreme 1071, x1071.com, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Multi-state operations. Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care. 24/7, 365. Myers Heating and Cooling is your trusted residential heating and cooling system service provider. Join Myers Comfort Club for peace of mind throughout the year and around the clock. Myers Heating and Cooling in Lancaster. Don't worry, we got this.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Stoco PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
Happy New Year from the team at Finning Kia, your locally owned, community-minded dealership in Dubuque, Iowa. New vehicles are arriving daily, and if you don't see exactly what you're looking for, you can always reserve an incoming vehicle or place an order. Check out Kia's amazing lineup of all-wheel drive vehicles. The all-new 2023 Kia Sportage, Seltos, Sorento, K5, Stinger, EV6, and Telluride. Kia is building vehicles to tackle our Midwest weather. The new 2023 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive is starting at $24,680. And like all new Kia vehicles, has the industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Finning Kia is on a mission to change the perception of car buying, quick, comfy, and fun. You can find us on the corner of Savings, Northwest Arterial and Highway 20 in Dubuque, or visit FinningKia.com.
Pre-game one.
The Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues here on the X Extreme 1071 and x1071.com. River Ridge taking on Lancaster in non-conference girls basketball tonight. We're now joined by River Ridge head coach Ronnie Zinkel. Coach, thanks for joining us. And your team, as of late, 4-game winning streak. Things seem to be going well, although the last game against Highland kind of gave you a bit of a scare. Had a 17-point lead. They came back to tie it, but were able to pull away at the end. Maybe a little test of resiliency, as far as your team goes. But overall, how would you assess your team's play during this streak and, kind of overall over the last couple weeks or so?
Yeah, we're playing real good basketball right now. Obviously, got to limit our turnovers and finish more. That's where those comebacks happen, is we're turning the ball over too much and just got to finish our shots.
If it really seemed like the Highland press was really forcing a lot of those turnovers and, kind of seemed to catch some things off guard. What are some of the things that maybe you've been emphasizing with your team to try and maybe tone down some of the turnovers that have been committed?
Main thing with the press pick, we've been working on it every night, bringing in the 7th and 8th grade boys to practice that quickness. So working on passing through it and even driving through the middle as much as possible, not turning it over.
Yep. And, looking at where you sit in the Six Rivers West, sitting right behind Belmont, they got the victory over River Ridge earlier in the year. You're going through the conference a second time now. Talk a little bit about that first run through the Six Rivers West. What were kind of your takeaways of the conference as a whole, and where do you kind of see your team figuring into that picture?
The Six Rivers Conference is very competitive this year. I said that in the beginning of the season. Every game's going to be tough. I mean, nobody's blown out anybody yet. It's always a tough game you got to prepare for.
I've been looking at tonight's opponent, Lancaster. They're on a win streak of their own. They've won their last 3 games, getting back to the 500 mark. What do you know about the Flying Arrows, and what are you expecting to see from both teams tonight?
They also play in a very tough conference against Prairie du Chien and all of them. They're a quick team. They like to press and play several different defenses and dribble drive, so we had to prepare for everything.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining us. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's head coach Ronnie Zink. All the way over at Timberwolves. We'll have more on the Raleigh Chiefs pregame show after this on the X Extreme 107.1.
Pregame 2. You give 110% at work and in the game. So why not give 110% to get a beautiful, healthy smile? Schedule your routine checkups and any major dental care at Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. They'll help you maintain a beautiful smile, along with daily brushing and flossing for healthy teeth and gums. Call today to schedule your checkup. And if you have any problems with your teeth, make an appointment with Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Hi, this is Christine Rowley of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shullsburg.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts. What does the lifetime comfort guarantee from Dubuque Mattress really mean? It means peace of mind. For the entire life of your Dubuque mattress, we will adjust the feel of it. If it feels a little too firm, we'll make it softer. If your mattress feels too soft, we'll make it firmer. We take the, what if I don't like it, out of mattress shopping to give you peace of mind. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
At Dubuque Mattress Factory, you got a little snooze time.
Pre-game 2.
Welcome back to the Raleigh Cheese pregame show on the X Extreme 107.1 and X1071.com. Lancaster hosting River Ridge in non-conference girls basketball tonight. Now joined by Courtney Feller, the head coach of the Lancaster Flying Arrows. Coach, thanks for joining us. And the last time you and I got to chat, your team had a 6-game losing streak heading into the game against Fenimore. And since then, you've rattled off 3 straight wins against Fenimore, one against River Valley, and then most recently against Belleville. Things seem to be getting back on the right track for your team. Get back to 8-8. Talk a little bit about your team's play over the last 3 games and what's gone right.
Yeah, we're certainly playing some better basketball, and it's due time. But yeah, the girls are just playing really well together. We've been playing better defense, which just in turn comes to better offense.
Yep. And looking at the individual stats, Jessica Morgan went off against Belleville on Saturday, 27 points, 10 rebounds. Talk a little bit about what she's meant because, really in the middle, she's been a huge presence and really kind of a focal point for your team's offensive attack.
Yeah, I mean, she had struggled offensively a little bit this year, but that her being an offensive threat is definitely more characteristic of her, so that 27 points was great. But yeah, we expect her to be a scorer every game.
Yep. You're going to be going through the SWC a second time now, and with this little win streak, you kind of find yourself in that third place position. Granted, it's Prairie du Chien and Platteville, and then kind of everyone else in that pack. Right. But you've seen some improvement from your team, and maybe those that first run through, some lessons learned, and maybe some silver linings on things that you could build on. What are some of the things that you kind of took away from the first half of the conference season, and what you look to improve on the rest of the way and heading towards the postseason? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, we knew it would be a competitive conference going in, and we weren't super pleased with how we played some conference games. So we have high expectations for the second round. We're definitely playing better basketball at this point, and one thing we tell the girls always is just to value the basketball, every possession on offense, and then just limiting our turnovers and taking good quality shots.
Yeah, but an interesting matchup tonight against River Ridge. They're on a win streak of their own. They won the last 4 games, sitting in the second place spot in the Six Rivers West. Definitely a defensively sound basketball team. Talk a little bit about what you're expecting to see from the Timberwolves and what your Flying Arrows have to do if they're going to come away with the win.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it with the defense. That's something we've been working on the last couple days in practice, just kind of talking about their kind of aggressive but sagging man. They're scrappy. So that's kind of just how we tried to practice the last few days to prepare for it.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is head coach Courtney Feller of the Lancaster Flying Arrows. We'll have more on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on the X, Extreme 1071 and X1071.com.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
For residential, commercial, or ag building projects, call on Wolf Construction, LLC of Lancaster. Todd Wolf and his crew pride themselves in providing full service for their customers at the highest of quality. Wolf Construction, LLC of Lancaster, proud to back our local athletes.
These days, making your vehicle look right after an accident can be more challenging. Tim Thane with Admiral.
All of our technicians are ICAR certified, and many of them have decades of experience. We work on all makes and models, pretty much
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling. Closing in on the tip of our non-conference girls basketball action tonight, the Lancaster Flying Arrows hosting the River Ridge Timberwolves. We'll get to the Nutrition World starting lineups in just a moment. Our game tonight brought to you by Clare Bank with their 8 locations in southwest Wisconsin, probably supporting our area's high school sports teams. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. And we will pause for tonight's national anthem from Lancaster High School.
Coaches and spectators during interscholastic events, we request your cooperation. At this time, please rise and remove your caps for the singing of the national anthem by Ariana Houck and Lily Weber.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great performance of tonight's national anthem here at Lancaster High School, getting set for the Lancaster Flying Arrows and the River Ridge Timberwolves in non-conference girls hoops action. Tyler Dictanis with you from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth. Let's run down the Nutrition World starting lineups presented by Nutrition World Health and Wellness. Quality, selection, and knowledge for optimal health and energy levels are found at Nutrition World, Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville. For the visiting River Ridge Timberwolves, 11-5 overall on the season, 5-1 in Six Rivers West Conference play. Their starters tonight include a 5'3" sophomore wearing number 10, Melissa Sletton. Sletton is averaging 7.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, nearly 3 assists, and nearly 3 steals per game. A 5'8 junior wearing number 14, Shayna Graff. Graff averaging 8.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3.5 steals per game. A 5'4 senior wearing number 20, Abby Worley. Worley averaging a point and a half and 1.5 rebounds per game. A 5'9 sophomore wearing number 22, Reagan Zinkel. Zinkel averaging 9.8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals per game. And running out the starting lineup for the River Ridge Timberwolves, a 5'7 sophomore wearing number 32, Jessica Patterson. Patterson averaging 9.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, nearly 2 assists, and over 2 steals per game. River Ridge is coached by Veronica Zinkel and assisted by Mackenzie Graff, Joe Schulte, Riley Zinkel, and Michelle Zinkel. Now the starters for the Lancaster Flying Arrows, 8-8 on the campaign, 2-4 in SWC conference play. Their starters tonight include a 5'8 senior wearing number 3, Lainey Burks. Burks averaging 10.5 points and 4 rebounds per game. She is committed to play at UW Whitewater. Other starters tonight include a 5'6 junior wearing number 14, Mallory Olmstead, a 5'11 junior wearing number 20, Eden Bowen, a 5'7 sophomore wearing number 42, Cassie Nemitz, and a 5'11 sophomore wearing number 52, Jessica Morgan. Lancaster controls the tip, working from left to right as I see it here from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth. About 15 seconds gone by as Lainey Burks has the ball on the top of the arc, hands off to the right side to Olmstead. Olmstead gives to the top of the arc to Bowen. Bowen hands off to Burks, cuts to the left, puts up a floater, knocks it down. Lainey Burks gets the party started for Lancaster, 2-0, just about 30 seconds gone by. Here at Lancaster High School, River Ridge with their first possession as Sletton stops her dribble on the deep right wing, tosses to the right side to Jessica Patterson. Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental colors of the game in just a moment as a fast break opportunity for Lancaster back the other way. Jessica Morgan can't convert. Second chance opportunity for Olmstead. On the putback gets fouled, and she will go to the free throw line for the first free throws for either team. First team foul called against River Ridge and the first personal against Melissa Sletton. First free throw is good for number 14, Mallory Olmstead. As I mentioned, our Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental colors of the game, Lancaster in their home white jerseys with Lancaster written across the chest in blue and gold outline. Same for the jersey numbers and the Lancaster L on the shorts. And for River Ridge, they're in their black uniforms with River on top, Ridge at the bottom, written in white numbers, and Ridge and Wolves written on, or Wolves written on either side of the shorts. As a shot put up by Sletton on the left side, and a 2-point basket made. I believe that was Jessica Patterson. Actually, beg your pardon, that was Shayna Graff on the 2-point bucket. Score is now 3-2. As Olmstead went 1 for 2 at the free throw line earlier. Shot put up from the right side by Jessica Morgan off the other side of the rim, and Sletton is going to walk the ball up the floor for the River Ridge Timberwolves. 3-2. Lancaster on top of the Timberwolves, closing in on 2 minutes gone by in the ball game. Shayna Graff dribbles from the left wing over to the top of the arc, hands off to Sletton on the left wing. Three-pointer put up off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound goes into the hands of Morgan. Olmstead runs it up the floor on the near sideline, crosses the timeline, hands off to Burks. Burks crossed over her dribble, has the ball over her head, looking for a teammate, hands off to the right corner to Nemitz. Tries to skip it down low and a tie-up, and the possession arrow is going to give it to River Ridge. Cuba City Family Dental and Keeler Family Dental, where the colors are always bright white, without putting your finances in the red in our scoreboard tonight, brought to you by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Sletton gets it across center court while standing on the Lancaster L. Now hands off to Mandy Worley. Mandy Worley, the leading scorer for Ridge. She fires away from 3. Off the side of the rim, no. Putback opportunity, no good as well for Patterson. Scramble for the rebound, and a foul going to be called against River Ridge, and I think this is against Reagan Zinkel. That'll be her first personal, and the second team foul for River Ridge in the first half. Lainey Burks gets it across center court for Lancaster. Right-handed dribble, dribbling to the right side. Now into the lane, hands off to the left corner. Three-pointer put up, it rattled down for number 42, Cassie Nemitz. Cassie Nemitz starts the three-point party for Lancaster, and now it's 6-2. Flying Arrows on top of the Timberwolves early going. As a runner in the lane, no good for Zinkel, and Burks hauls in the rebound and runs it back the floor quickly. Burks is going to retreat to the three-point arc on the right side. Fires a pass to the right corner to Nemitz. Let's get pass down low. Now to a three-pointer on the right side for Jessica Morgan. No good. Offensive rebound for Olmsted, trying to put it back. Overshoots the rim, and Sletton is there for the rebound for River Ridge. 14-15 remaining in the first half. Lancaster 6, River Ridge 2. Early going in what should be a fun non-conference matchup. Both teams on winning streaks. Lancaster's won their last 3. River Ridge has won their last 4, and a reach-in foul, or a push, beg your pardon, against Lancaster. It's the first personal against the Flying Arrows, and the first going to be charged against Jessica Morgan. Sletton throws in the inbound pass, baseline left side of the basket, and it's quickly poked away by Cassie Nemitz, and they will try the inbound again. This time Shayna Graff going to throw it in right in front of the Lancaster bench on the near sideline. Graff gets the ball in to Jessica Patterson, dribbles between the circles, now stops her dribble, being guarded by Eden Bowen, and Mandy Worley recovers the basketball as it was poked away out of the double team. Worley gets it back after exchanging passes with Graff. Three-pointer straight ahead, rattles off the top of the rim, and Morgan's there for the rebound for Lancaster, handing off to Burks to set up the offense on the other side. Deep right wing to Nemitz. Ball works its way now to the left wing to Burks. Burks fires a pass down low. Shot put up over a double team off the side of the rim and into the hands of Shayna Graff. Melissa Sletton walks it across center court over the top of the Lancaster L at center court. Now Mandy Worley has the ball in the deep left wing, looking for a teammate to pass to. Now decides to dribble. Works its way over to the right corner to Reagan Zinkel. Zinkel trying to fire an overhead pass to someone, finds Sletton on the left wing. Now Sletton finds Shayna Graff on the right wing. Mandy Worley has it in the right corner. Sletton gets it back between the circles, finds Worley open three off the front of the rim, off the backboard, and Lancaster there for the rebound. River Ridge trying to go with the long ball, and Mandy Worley, who's knocked down many of River Ridge's three-pointers. In fact, she has got 42 of them made on the season. Mandy Worley is the leading scorer for River Ridge, but she comes off the bench. Mandy Worley, a 5'4" sophomore for the Timberwolves. Three-pointer put up from the left side, rattles in. It's a long two, beg your pardon, for Reagan Zinkel. She gets on the stat line scoring-wise, and it's now 6-4. Lancaster on top of River Ridge, 12:20 to go in the first half. Amy Burks gets it, three-pointer from the left wing, no good. Shayna Graff with the rebound, and she had to wrestle it away out of the double team, and a timeout taken by River Ridge. And it's a full timeout. We'll take one, too. 12:10 remaining in the first half. Lancaster 6, River Ridge 4. Back after this on the X, Extreme 107.1 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lancaster leads River Ridge 6-4 under 12 minutes to play in the first half as Lancaster comes away with the steal. Annie Martin coming away with the theft and hands off to Burks in the left corner. Burks tries to go baseline and gets stopped in her tracks, but I think it was an illegal stop by Melissa Sletton. I think she's going to be charged with the foul, and that would be her second. And that is the case. Melissa Sletton going to go to the bench. Jessica Patterson checking back in for River Ridge. Abby Worley back on the floor for the Timberwolves as well. Lainey Burks throws in the inbound pass, baseline left. Ball works its way to the right corner to Martin. Martin gets past her defender, stops her dribble right side of the lane. Hands off to the right side for a three-pointer, which is no good by Rose White, who's now in the ball game. And a scramble for the basketball recovered by River Ridge. Shayna Graff coming away quickly, but hands off to Worley for three. That one's good! Mandy Worley with three-pointer number 43 on the season, and River Ridge has their first lead of the game, 7-6, with 11:10 remaining in the first half. Burks drives in the lane, hands off to the right side. Nice pass and nice finish for Jessica Morgan. Jessica Morgan with a 2-point deposit on that Midwest One bank shot. You always score more with Simply Better Banking, Midwest One Bank, member FDIC. Ball knocked out of bounds. Clock stops with 10:55 as Jessica Morgan goes to the bench, and Mallory Olmstead, I believe, is the player who checked back in for Lancaster. Jessica Patterson trapped at half court, finds Shayna Graff on the right side though. As Worley has it in the right corner, ball works its way to the left side. Stop and pop jumper for Abby Worley is no good, and now a tie-up for the rebound. Getting tied up with Reagan Zinkel was Annie Martin, and the alternate possession gives it to Lancaster with 10:37 to go. Lancaster 8, River Ridge 7. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. Trust the pros at Hermson's for assistance with your next ag, commercial, or residential project. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center, family owned since 1942. Ball stolen away by Shayna Graff. Shayna Graff stole a pass right in the center of the free throw lane, and now the Timberwolves coming back the other way, trying to retake the lead. As Shayna Graff gets the ball back, trying to weave her way, and she took an extra step before she made the pass. Picked up her pivot foot. That's a travel, and another turnover for River Ridge. I have that down unofficially as their second. Mallory Olmstead goes to the bench for Lancaster, and now checking in is Jenna Wolf, the 5'9 senior, averaging 10.5 points per game. As the ball's knocked out of bounds, Annie Martin going for the steal, trying to knock it out of the hands of Abby Worley. And Lancaster will throw in the inbound pass right in front of the River Ridge bench. Inbound pass gets into Lainey Burks, being guarded by Jessica Patterson. Hands off to the right side to Rose White. Rose White exchanges passes with Eden Bowen. White looking for a player to pass to, finds Annie Martin, who dribbles from the right wing. Now between the circles, back to the right side, back to White. White stops her dribble at the free throw line, finds Lainey Burks for three, and it's good. Lainey Burks gets a three-pointer on her stat line, and Lancaster is up by 4, 11-7 with 9:20 remaining in the first half, and Jessica Wolf comes away with the theft. Runs it back the other side quickly along the near sideline. And now Lainey Burks has the basketballs. First free throw no good for Annie Martin on this trip. Melissa Sletton checks back in for River Ridge, as does Jessica Martin. Game tonight brought to you by People's State Bank. For personal, home, business, and ag loans, visit one of their 20 area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Second free throw good for Annie Martin. She has 1 point on the ball game, and Lancaster has their biggest lead of the game, 12-7, closing in on 8:40 to play in the ball game, or in the first half, I should say. As Zinkel can't convert, an easy layup in the free throw lane. Lancaster quickly back the other way. Annie Martin starts her dribble, right side of the lane, finds Jessica Wolf, open three, off the front of the rim. Martin there for the rebound, but a push. And they're going to call this one on Melissa Sletton. Or no, it's is against Lancaster. It's going to go against Annie Martin. Melissa Sletton was looking at the ref like the foul was called against her. That's who I thought it was going to go against, but River Ridge gets the basketball, and that is the first foul against Annie Martin, the second team foul for Lancaster of the first half. Clare Bank, with their 8 locations in Southwest Wisconsin, probably supporting our area's high school sports teams. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. A three-pointer made by Jessica Patterson. Gets her on the stat line, and now it's back to a 2-point margin for Lancaster as they put up a shot on the right side of the rim. Patterson there for the rebound for River Ridge. 12-10 the score, 7:50 remaining in the first half as Sletton walks it across center court, runs right into a double team, and it's stolen away by Eden Bowen. Tries to shove it forward to Annie Martin, and a whistle blown under the basket, and it's going to be a foul against Melissa Sletton. And that is the third personal against Melissa Sletton. She'll be on the bench most likely for the remainder of the half. As Burks throws in the inbound pass, baseline right side, throws it in to Jessica Morgan on the right wing. Morgan hands off to Burks, stops her dribble at the free throw line, and Shayna Graff just rips the ball out of her hands for the steal. Patterson walks it across center court, gives to Worley, fires a pass cross court to Shayna Graff. Worley gets it back, puts up another three, tries to bank it in as Shayna Graff comes down with the rebound. Dribbles to the right wing, tries to toss it down low. Another steal for Lancaster. Lainey Burks, 1-on-2 opportunity, tries to bank it in. Too strong off the backboard, ricochets off a River Ridge player, goes out of bounds. I believe Reagan Zinkel was the last player to touch it, so Lainey Burks will throw in the inbound pass baseline left of the basket with 7:07 to go in the first half. Lancaster 12, River Ridge 10. Burks fires an overhead pass right into the hands of Reagan Zinkel for the steal. Zinkel is able to find Patterson, but nearly stolen away. This one is stolen away. Lainey Burks 1-on-1 back the other way. Can't get the layup to go. And Patterson there for the rebound for River Ridge. A couple missed opportunities for Lancaster. Coming away with a couple steals. Unable to get points out of them. Shayna Graff gives to Mandy Worley on the left wing. Worley being guarded by Bowen. Now back over the right side to Graff. Now to the right corner to Zinkel. Zinkel cross-court pass to Worley. Back to the top to Graff. Graff dribbles into the paint. Takes on a defender. Too strong off the backboard. And Lancaster comes down with the rebound. Cassie Nemitz back in the ball game. Finds Jenna Wolf on the right side of the lane. Now Lainey Burks trying to cross over on Patterson. Dribbles from the right wing. Now between the circles. Right-handed dribble. Looking for a teammate to pass to. River Ridge going with a 1-3-1 defensive zone look. Ball is lobbed into the lane and stolen away by Reagan Zinkel, and some contact, as it looks like Jenna Wolf was trying to go for the theft from behind. They're going to call push on Jenna Wolf, her first personal, third team foul for Lancaster of the half. D&D Electric in Lancaster, specializing in industrial wiring, maintenance, install, and control. Flying Arrow proud, D&D Electric of Lancaster. And by River of Lakes Resort for family-friendly camping and excellent fishing in the backwaters of the Mississippi. Get away at River of Lakes Resort. Learn more at rolcamp.com. River of Lakes Resort in Bagley. Another steal for Lancaster. Coming back the other way is Rose White. Can't get the layup to go. Too strong off the backboard. Score remains 12-10. We've been stuck on this score for about the last 3 minutes or so. Patterson with the basketball. Top of the arc, exchanges passes with Graff, tries to fire it down low to Zinkel. Zinkel had an open shot, decides to make the extra pass. Now Mandy Worley for three, off the right side of the rim. Putback opportunity, good with the right hand for number 22, Reagan Zinkel. 4 points for Zinkel. Ties the game on that 2-point deposit, brought to you by Midwest One Bank. 12-12, 5 minutes to play in half number one. We've got a good one so far here at Lancaster High School, as Shayna Graff momentarily had the theft, but it rolls out of bounds, and it will be River Ridge basketball. Last to touch it was Annie Martin. Sire T Auto Body Complete Collision Repair with PPG Paint Warranty, Spray and Bed Liners, free pickup and delivery, and loaner cars too. Sire T's also handles your claim process. Call Eric at Sire T's in Bloomington. River Ridge with the basketball and a blocking foul called against Lancaster. I think this is against Jessica Morgan. Oh no, it's actually Jenna Wolf. That is her second personal, 14 foul for Lancaster at the half. And River Ridge is going to throw in the inbound pass, baseline right side with 4:41 to go in the first half. Inbound pass goes to Shayna Graff at the top of the arc. And a foul as Graff tried to fire it down low to Lydia Mason, who's in the ball game. Mason, a 5'7" sophomore for River Ridge. As Eden Bowen's going to check back in, sending Jessica Morgan to the bench for the Flying Arrows. Inbound pass goes to Patterson, hands off to Graff quickly to the left, now over to the right corner to Zinkel. Graff gets it back on the left wing as Abby Worley fires a long three, overshoots the rim, and Lancaster comes down with the rebound, pushing it up the floor quickly to Lainey Burks. Burks now between the circles, stops her dribble, hands off to Martin on the right wing. Martin with the ball over her head, gives back to the top to Bowen. Bowen dribbles with the left hand, just to the left of the paint. Now Olmstead going from the left corner baseline, trying to skip it down to Martin and loses it momentarily, but they're going to say it was poked out of bounds, no foul called. As Lainey Burks throws in the inbound pass. Reagan Zinkel goes to the bench. Shot put up off the inbound on the left side of the lane by Rose White. Got whacked on the hand, and she will go to the free throw line. 16 foul called against River Ridge of the half. First personal against Shayna Graff in the contest. Rose White misses the first free throw attempt. Rose White, a 87% free throw shooter on the season coming into tonight. Second free throw is good. And that breaks our tie, 13-12. Lancaster with 4 minutes left until the Peterson Agency halftime report. Shayna Graff, right-handed dribble between the circles, tries a hand off to Patterson. But Patterson wasn't expecting the pass, so another River Ridge turnover. I have that down as turnover number 6 for the Timberwolves. Clock is stopped with 3:51 to go. In the first half, Abra Auto Body Repair, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream on X1071.com and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. Mallory Olmstead just left of the lane, gives to Rose White on the other side. Goes for a scoop layup. Layup well short, and Shayna Graff there to retrieve the ball for the Timberwolves. As the Wolves try to retake the lead. 13-12 our score. Low scoring game as Worley fires from three on the right side. Zinkel there for the offensive rebound, and she gets the putback. Reagan Zinkel putting up a little floater that rattles down, and River Ridge is back on top. 14-13, closing in on 3 minutes to play in the half. Eddie Martin on the right wing, dribbles into the paint, hands off to the left side to Olmstead. Now back to left corner for three for Burks. No good. Volleyball for the rebound, and there's about 3 players that get tied up for the basketball, and the possession arrow is going to give it to the Timberwolves. Shayna Graff going to throw in the inbound pass. Community First Bank, for you and the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFbank.com, member FDIC. Mandy Worley dribbles into the paint from the top of the arc. Now hands off to the right side to Patterson. Patterson gives to Shayna Graff on the left wing. Patterson gets it back between the circles, gives back to Graff on the left wing. Fires it down low to Worley. Ball poked away from behind by Olmstead. And I think Olmstead is going to be called for the push, and that's the case. Both teams with 6 fouls in the half. It's the first personal against Olmstead. River Ridge trying to get the inbound pass in from the left side, and it's stolen away by Lancaster. Nice pass down low from Burks to Annie Martin. Nice assist by Burks. Nice finish by Martin. Martin gets her first field goal of the game, and Lancaster is back on top, 15-14, 2:15 remaining in the half. Shayna Graff trying to spin off her defender, puts up a shot, and ball was deflected, but they're going to say a foul against Rose White. Or no, foul against Mallory Olmstead, second personal. And Shayna Graff misses her first free throw opportunity. Shayna Graff, a 64% free throw shooter coming into tonight's game. Myers Heating and Cooling, servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this. Shayna Graff ties the game with the second free throw. 15 apiece, 2 minutes left in half number one. We'll have the Peterson Agency halftime report coming up. We'll check in on the shoebox scoreboard as well. As Martin has the basketball for the Flying Arrows, hands off to Burks on the right wing. Tries to lob it down low, stolen away by Reagan Zinkel, right in the middle of the free throw lane. Patterson jogs it across for the Timberwolves, stops her dribble on the left wing, hands off to Shayna Graff. Graff spins off her defender in the lane, loses the ball, recovers it, but finds Zinkel, open three from the left wing, tries to bank it in. Graff there for the putback, no, off the side of the rim. Boy, these easy shots are just not going down for either team right now as Lainey Burks goes behind the back and finishes with the left hand. Lainey Burks with some fancy dribbling in the lane, went behind the back, finished with a left-handed layup, a 2-point deposit and a 2-point lead for Lancaster. 17-15 as another steal by Olmstead. She tries to fire in a layup, kind of a straight ahead layup, a line drive, hits the side of the rim. But she got fouled on the way there. Foul against Jessica Patterson. 17 foul for the Timberwolves. With 15 and a half seconds remaining as Olmstead misses the first free throw. Mountain City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. Second free throw is good for Olmstead. She is now 2 of 4 on the contest, and it's a 3-point lead for Lancaster again. 18-15, 48 seconds remaining in the half. Zinkel has the ball down low, finishes with a right-handed layup. Reagan Zinkel with 8 points on the contest, and back to a 1-point lead for Lancaster. They have possession of the basketball. We'll see what they decide to do here. So they give off to the left side, trying to bank it in, and getting it is Cassie Nemitz. Left-handed bank shot from the left side of the lane. Brought to you by Midwest One Bank. Score more with Simply Better Banking. Midwest One Bank, member FDIC. 20-17, the score, 15 seconds left. River Ridge trying to get the last shot they put up. The shot from the right side of the lane, no good for Reagan Zinkel. 8 seconds left, opportunity for Lancaster as Lainey Burke stops her dribble continues to dribble, goes in the lane, banks it in the lane to close out the half. Looked like for a second Burks was going to stop her dribble and hand off to a teammate, but she weaves her way through traffic in the free throw lane, banks it in, and gives Lancaster a 5-point lead heading into the half. 22-17 is our halftime score. We'll bring you the Peterson Agency halftime report. Check in on the shoebox scoreboard and see what else we have on our Queen Bee Radio Sports High School schedule. The Peterson Agency halftime report comes your way next on the X Extreme 107.1 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
fitted sheet, programming the thermostat, matching your socks. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
Ask Brian Peterson of the Peterson Agency in Argyle if auto owners make sense for you.
Happy New Year! Is a redesign, new build, or remodel one of your goals for 2023? Hi, this is Linda from Eastman Cartwright Home in Lancaster. Our designers can help you create the home of your dreams. We take an overwhelming process and simplify it through a one-on-one design consultation that will streamline your ideas. We'll get to know your style and turn it into a dream come true. Design consultations are booking up quickly, so don't wait. Schedule yours today. Just visit us at eastmancartwrighthome.com and follow us on social.
In Game 3.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball is presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling on the X, Extreme 1071, x1071.com. Also streaming live on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our halftime score 22-17. Lancaster leading River Ridge in tonight's non-conference high school girls basketball contest. Tyler Dictanis with you from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, and this is the Peterson Agency halftime report presented by the Peterson Agency in Argyle. Your dependent agent, Brian Peterson, specializing in home, farm, auto, and umbrella policies. Quick Shoebox scoreboard update presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Scales Mound leading Benton over on Super Hits 106, 38-26. The score there, Steve Prestegard and Matt Wiederholt with the call of that one again over on Super Hits 106 and Super Hits 106.com. Our game tonight brought to you by Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team. Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, experience the difference. And by Russell Law Offices, they're here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, personal injury, and more. Proudly serving southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. The Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page, if you missed any part of tonight's game or any of our other recent high school sports broadcasts, you can listen back to the recordings anytime and on demand at soundcloud.com/Queen Bee Radio Sports. We'll have a number of those games uploaded on our SoundCloud page for the last couple weeks. Sometime tomorrow, if not Thursday, we'll try and get those up there for you. And what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and I will recap the first half scoring here in tonight's game. Again, halftime score 22-17. Lancaster on the top of River Ridge. Peterson Agency halftime report continues after this on the X, Extreme 1071 and x1071.com.
Heads Up Salon. Sherry, Jennifer, and Brittany at Heads Up do highlights, color, cuts, perms, and new barbering services too. Heads Up Salon, North Jefferson Street, Lancaster.
Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference.
I'm an addict. If football's on TV, I'm watching. When I'm watching, there's only two things that will get me out of my recliner. And one of those is a trip to the buffet table. Ours always includes grilled brats and hot dogs on Village Hearth buns. At halftime, we bring out a huge platter of cold-cut sandwiches made on Country Hearth multigrain bread. Baked right here in the Midwest, Country Hearth and Village Hearth breads and buns are always fresh and delicious. Touchdown! Yes! Yes!
In Game 4.
Like any business, success in jurying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's. Your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the hygiene brand of products, as well as other dairy hygiene products. Make your operation more efficient and profitable, and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and Fuller's Milker Center
so, not only could your efforts save a life, but will save the life of a child, surgery patient, or an accident victim. One pilot drug can save up to 3 lives through a silent feeling with blood pressure. This message is courtesy of a Legion Army, helping serving the community with integrity and faith. A Legion Army is dedicated to the health and well-being of everyone in our community. In-game foul.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling on the X, Extreme 1071 and X1071.com. The Peterson Agency halftime report continuing. Presented by the Peterson Agency in Argyle, your independent agent, Brian Peterson, specializing in home, farm, auto, and umbrella policies. Our halftime score, Lancaster 22, River Ridge 17 in our non-conference high school girls basketball game. Tyler Dictanis with you from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth. Let's recap the first half scoring individually, starting off with the Lancaster Flying Arrows. They are led in scoring by Lainey Burks, who has a game-high 9 points, including 1 3-pointer on her stat line. Other scorers include Cassie Nemitz with 5 points, including 1 3-pointer. Annie Martin with a bucket and a free throw to give her 3 points. 2 points apiece for Mallory Olmstead. Olmstead went 2 of 4 at the free throw line in the first half, and then Jessica Morgan got a 2-point field goal under the hoop. Rose White went 1 of 2 at the free throw line to give her 1. Eden Bowen started for Lancaster and did not score. Jenna Wolf and Mallory Olmstead have 2 personal fouls. That's the foul trouble situation for Lancaster. And for River Ridge, they're led in scoring by Reagan Zinkel with 8 points, all of them 2-point field goals. And then 3 points apiece for Mandy Worley, Shayna Graff, and Jessica Patterson. Worley and Patterson had 3-point field goals. Shayna Graff had a bucket and a free throw. And Melissa Sletton started but did not score, and she has 3 personal fouls heading into the second half. That third foul, I believe, happened somewhere around the 7-minute mark left in the first half. And as far as turnovers, again, very unofficial. River Ridge I have down for 7 turnovers, and Lancaster with 5. It's been a pretty even battle so far tonight. Lancaster's biggest lead is what it's at right now, 5 points. And River Ridge was able to take the lead a couple different times. I think they took the lead 2 different times by 1 point each. And then Lancaster was able to get a couple buckets, and Lainey Burks able to close out the first half with a layup as time expired. As play resumes here to start the second half, Lancaster now working from right to left as we see it here from the Wolf Construction broadcast booth at Lancaster High School. Lainey Burks fires away from 3 on the right side. Back iron, no. Olmstead gets the rebound and gives back to Burks in the right corner. Burks tries to dribble past her defender in the lane, off the glass and in. Lainey Burks now in double figures with 11 points, and Lancaster extends their lead 24-17 with 35 seconds gone by in the second half. Patterson with the ball over her head. Dribbles from the right corner to the right wing. Hands off to Worley. Pass down low to Graff. Tries to put up a shot from the left side of the lane. No good, but a foul. And it's a foul against Jessica Morgan. Have that down as her 3rd personal foul, first team foul of the half. As Graff rattles in the first free throw. Game tonight brought to you by Route 35 Pub and Pizza. Come see them Tuesday through Sunday. Enjoy fried cod or catfish on Friday nights and their great pizza and other menu items anytime. Like them on Facebook for specials and updates. Route 35 Pub and Pizza in Bloomington. Shayna Graff does get the second free throw to go down as well. 24-19. Lancaster leading River Ridge. As a pass down low, unable to finish is Bowen. Scramble for the rebound, goes out of bounds. Was last touched by Lancaster. River Ridge will take possession. Melissa Slutton gets it across the timeline, dribbles with the left hand, hands off to Graff in the left wing. Graff tries to spin off Jenna Wolf, fires the pass over to Slutton, who nearly lost it, but able to recover it. Now over to the right side as Worley puts up a shot, that one being Abby Worley. Overshoots the rim, and Lancaster gets the rebound. Lainey Burks hands off to the right corner to Olmstead. Olmstead has it poked away momentarily, but hands off to Burks. She's being guarded by Melissa Slutton. Burks dribbles from the right wing between the circles, now over to Olmstead on the right side. Jenna Wolf fakes a pass to the right side, dribbles in the lane, kicks out to the left corner to Nemitz. Pass down low, stolen away by Shayna Graff. Shayna Graff with a few thefts in tonight's game. Score is still 24-19. Shot put up from the right side of the lane is no good, but a foul called. And a blocking foul called against Shayna Graff. That's her second personal. No, beg your pardon. That's not on Shayna Graff. That's on Olmstead. That's her third. Second team foul for Lancaster of the half. Andy Worley gets the inbound pass into Zinkel. Zinkel trying to get in the double-figure club. Misses the shot in the lane, and Lancaster comes away with the rebound, and an over and back. Going to be called against Lancaster as Amy Martin tried to hand back to Lainey Burks, and Burks had her right foot in the backcourt. Good eye by the official, and a turnover for Lancaster. That is their seventh unofficially on the game. Slutton hands off to Shayna Graff on the left wing, looking for a teammate to pass to. And now ball works its way into the right corner, nearly stolen away now is by Burks. Dribbling with the left hand, too strong off the backboard, scramble for the rebound. Reagan Zinkel comes down with it, and a tie-up. And this is a foul against Rose White of Lancaster. That's her first personal and the third team foul for the Flying Arrows in the second half. Closing in on 15 minutes to play, 24-19. Lancaster on top of River Ridge. And not a lot of scoring here to begin the second half. And right as I say that, Reagan Zinkel deposits two on a Midwest One bank shot under the basket to make the score 24-21, 14:50 remaining in the contest. Jenna Wolf has the ball between the circles, dribbles with the left hand, gets a screen from Rose White, now stops her dribble, hands off to Burks. Nearly caught it while on the run, but let the ball go, and she was able to recover her dribble. Burks crosses over Slutton, now fires a pass to the left corner to Bowen. Bowen back to the left wing to Rose White. Rose White dribbles from the left wing over to the right side. Ball works its way back to the left corner for three, and it's good for Eden Bowen. Eden Bowen with her first points of the game, and Lancaster is on top by 6, 27-21. Biggest lead for Lancaster of the night as Slutton hits a left-handed layup driving into the lane. Playing with those three fouls, she gets her first points of the game on another Midwest One bank shot, 27-23. Lancaster on top of River Ridge, 13:50 remaining in the contest. Rose White dribbles from the left wing, tries to hand off to the right side to Burks, and Burks loses the ball out of bounds. It'll be River Ridge basketball. As Braylon Quick, who was in the game for a few moments, checks out. Shayna Graff checks out as well. As Mandy Worley is in the game for the Timberwolves. Three-pointer put up from the left wing, no good. Rebound into the hands of Rose White for Lancaster. And Burks jogs it across center court. Hands out to the right side, some contact on the pass to Jenna Wolf, and I think this is going to go against Reagan Zinkel. Reagan Zinkel called for a reach and foul. Second personal for her. First team foul for the Wolves in the half. As the inbound, I believe, was knocked out of bounds, so Lancaster will try to throw in the inbound pass on the far sideline. Burks gets it in to Martin. Martin steps her dribble on the right wing, hands off to Burks. Long three, swishes it! Lainey Burks with 14 points on the game, and it's a 7-point lead as Worley tries to answer back, and the rebound goes into the hands of the Flying Arrows. Rose White recovering the rebound. Pushing it up the floor to Jenna Wolf on the far side of the floor. Spins off her defender, step and pop jumper from the right side of the lane. And Slatton gets the rebound for the Timberwolves. She's going to walk it up the floor. Timeout taken by Ronnie Zinkel. It's a full timeout. We'll take one too. 12:42 remaining. Lancaster 30, River Ridge 23. Back after this on the X Extreme 107.1 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Happy New Year. This is Matt Summerlot, sales manager at Finning Kia in Dubuque, Iowa. Does your current ride stress you out? Payment too high? Gas mileage too low? No remaining warranty? Needs costly repairs? Or just needs a much-needed makeover? Well, your knight on his white horse is here to save the day. Let's start 2023 off on the right foot. Make the trade for less stress, more style, better fuel economy, the industry-leading 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Together, we got this. The team at Finning Kia is on a mission to change the perception of car buying. Quick, comfy, and fun.
In Game 6.
Lancaster 30, River Ridge 23 as play resumes coming out of the River Ridge timeout, and a travel called against River Ridge. I think this was against Jessica Patterson. And the Flying Arrows have possession of the basketball. Under 12 and a half minutes to play. Lainey Burks skips it over to the left side. Jenna Wolf can't finish, but she got whacked on the hand. She'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to go against Reagan Zinkel. That'll be her third personal, as she joins Melissa Sletton in the 3-foul club. First free throw for Jenna Wolf is knocked down. Jenna Wolf with her first points on the game. Game tonight brought to you by Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialists in Lancaster. The pros at Brian's get the job done right for unexpected dings or major repair projects. Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Second free throw for Jenna Wolf is no good. Our score remains 31-23. 12:15 remaining in regulation. As Jessica Patterson gives to Sletton. Now Worley for three, rattles out. Shayna Graff there for the rebound. Ball poked from behind by Lainey Burks. And River Ridge will keep possession of the basketball. Guthrie Trucking LLC of Bagley wishing the Wolves success. Guthrie Trucking LLC of Bagley. Worley lobs the pass to Sletton between the circles now to Worley on the left wing. Worley trying to spin off Bowen. Now hands off to Sletton on the right side, being guarded by Burks. Sletton splits some defenders, tries to bank it in, too strong off the backboard, and Rose White hauls in the rebound for the Flying Arrows. Burks dribbles it across center court, finds Bowen in the left corner, lobs it down low to Wolf. Wolf trying to finish, puts it off the glass and in. Jenna Wolf with her first field goal of the game. And it's a 10-point lead for Lancaster, 33-23, 11 and a half minutes remaining. Mandy Worley fires a cross-court pass to Patterson on the far side. Patterson tries to skip it to Sletton, stolen away by Burks, one-on-one back the other way, and the layup is good. And Lancaster going on a bit of a run here to start the second half. They've outscored River Ridge as they try to do the math, and a shot is put up on the other side of the floor. And it was a 5-point lead at halftime, 22-17. Now a 12-point lead here as Bowen goes to the bench, as does Abby Worley for River Ridge. And the Timberwolves have possession of the basketball. 4 team fouls against the Flying Arrows, and now a stoppage on the River Ridge side of the floor. Rose White checks out for Lancaster. Checking in is Cassie Nemitz. Slayton gets the inbound pass. Three-pointer put up on the left wing by Patterson. No good. Worley there for the rebound. Can't get the putback to go. And now Lancaster quickly back down the other side of the floor. Jessica Morgan. Nice pass down low to Jenna Wolf, and she finishes with the left-handed layup. Or beg your pardon, right-handed layup. A 2-point deposit either way, and it's a 37-23 lead for Lancaster. A 30-second stop by Ronnie Zinkel will keep it here. Again, 10:33 remaining, 37-23. Lancaster on top of River Ridge. Our game today brought to you by Farmers Family Dental. Dr. Wade Farmer offers facial aesthetic services as well as all of your dental needs. For big city dentistry with a hometown feel, Farmers Family Dental in Lancaster. Lancaster Auto Body has been serving the Lancaster area since 1960 for certified collision repair, detailing, spray and bed liners, PPG lifetime paint warranty, washing and waxing, and more. Lancaster Auto Body, where we meet by accident. Game also brought to you by People's State Bank. For personal, home, business, and ag loans, visit one of their 20 area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. River Ridge with the basketball coming out of the timeout, but Lainey Burke steals it, and a one-on-one gets the shot over Melissa Sletton and pushes the Lancaster lead 39-23, closing in on 10 minutes left in the game. As Worley has the ball poked away from behind, another steal for Lainey Burks. 2-on-1 back the other way, and Burks gets the layup again over Melissa Sletton. As the ball nearly stolen away by Lancaster again, Worley able to recover it. Ball works its way to the left corner for three. Overshooting the rim is Haley Woodruff, who checked in after the timeout. And a whistle blown and a push against River Ridge, and this is the fourth foul against Reagan Zinkel, who is leading the team in scoring right now with 10 points. Reagan Zinkel stays in the game with those 4 fouls. As Martin has the basketball for the Flying Arrows, she finds a path to the basket, loses the ball on the way up, but River Ridge might have knocked it out of her hand illegally. No foul called. They're just going to say she lost control of it. But it was last touched by River Ridge. Lancaster inbounds baseline right side. Jenna Wolf gets the inbound pass, puts up a shot, hits the front of the rim, and Mandy Worley gets the rebound for the River Ridge Timberwolves. Hands off to Sletton. And now back to Worley on the left wing. Fires a cross-court pass to Shayna Graff for three off the front of the rim. Worley there for the rebound. Dribbles out of the lane. And now ball works his way back down low. Zinkel can't get the first attempt. Putback attempt is good. Reagan Zinkel now with 12 points, a team high for River Ridge. And it's 41-25. Lancaster on top of the Timberwolves now under 9 minutes remaining. Olmstead with the ball on the left wing. Left-handed dribble, hands off to Morgan. Morgan tries to find a path into the lane. Hits the front of the rim, and hauling in the rebound is Mandy Worley for the River Ridge Timberwolves. Hands off to Sletton, who's going to walk it across the floor. Sletton right-handed dribble, angles to the right side. Retreats to the three-point arc, hands off to Zinkel in the right corner. Now to Graff down low, spins off her defender, puts up the shot. Shot is good. And the foul, so a potential three-point play opportunity for Shayna Graff. I thought for a moment she might have been called for a travel, as it looked like she might have picked up her pivot foot from my vantage point, but the official right there said she got the basket to go, so she'll get the freebie free throw. And a few substitutions now for Lancaster as Bowen and Lainey Burks check back in for the Flying Arrows. Jenna Wolf and Annie Martin go to the bench. And Graff hits the free throw. Graff 3 for 3 on her free throw attempts in the second half. She went 1 of 2 in her trip in the first half. And now it's 41-28, 8:24 remaining in the game as Burks took an extra step. I think she lifted her pivot foot as she spun towards the basket to get the layup. Basket won't count, and River Ridge will take over possession as they try to find that offensive spark to get back into the game. Sletton tries to throw it to Zinkel on the right corner, but it's knocked out of bounds. And Shayna Graff will throw on the inbound pass. Put the Timberwolves right in front of the River Ridge bench. Graff throws the inbound pass to Sletton in the backcourt. Sletton, nice spin move, goes into the lane and banks it in. Melissa Sletton with some fancy footwork and some fancy dribbling to deposit 2 on that Midwest 1 bank shot. It's back to an 11-point margin for Lancaster, 41-30. Flying Arrows on top of the Timberwolves in non-conference girls hoops. Pass down low, nice finish for Jessica Morgan off the glass. She gets 2 points in that Midwest 1 bank shot, back to a 13-point lead. 43-37, 35 remaining as Sletton drives baseline, tries to put it off the glass, too strong off the backboard, but she's going to go to the free throw line as Rose White gets called for the foul. 16 foul for Lancaster at the half. First free throw is no good. Doolittle's Pub and Eatery on the square in Lancaster, open for lunch and dinner, including hot soups, chili, Tuesday through Saturday, and delicious pizza starting at 4. Doolittle's in Lancaster. And the free throw is no good for Melissa Sletton. Went 0 for 2 on that trip. Lancaster back the other way as Lainey Burks puts it too strong off the backboard, and Worley drops the shoulder right into the chest of Burks, and they're going to call Burks for the foul. Well, it looked like from here, Burks took the brunt of the contact, and it's the first personal against Burks, and that is the 7th foul against Lancaster. So 1-1 for River Ridge the rest of the way at 7:24 remaining. And the free throw attempt by Worley is no good. Lancaster comes down with the rebound. Score remains 43-30 with 7:18 to go in the game. Burks has the basketball between the circles, hands off to the left side to Bowen. Burks gets it back. Burks tries to throw it down to Wolf in the lane, but stolen away by Shayna Graff. Coming back, gets it over Burks. Too strong off the backboard. Jenna Wolf hauls in the rebound for Lancaster. Burks runs it across the half-court stripe, and Burks drops the shoulder this time, and Sletton draws the charge. And that should be the second personal, and it is against Lainey Burks. Good foul draw there charge draw by Melissa Sletton. Shannon Graff, open 3, left wing, can't hit the rim. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Lancaster will have possession of the basketball. Prairie Motorsports of Prairie du Chien and at prairiemotorsports.com. Bush Insurance, a proud partner of Pekin Insurance Company. Also Carey's Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors of Belmont and at Carey's Gutters and Doors.com. And Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and at Sloans.com. 2-point bucket for Jenna Wolf, giving her 7 points on the game, and it's a 15-point lead for Lancaster as Sletton was able to dribble under the basket looking for a teammate on the left side. I think that was Abby Worley the pass was intended for, but it was knocked out of bounds, and a timeout taken by Lancaster. It's a full timeout. We'll take one too. 6:13 remaining. Lancaster 45, River Ridge 30. Back after this on the X Extreme 1071 and X1071.com. 45-30, Lancaster on top of River Ridge as play resumes. Shot put up on the left side is good for River Ridge, and getting the bucket is Shayna Graff on a 2-point deposit on that Midwest One bank shot. 45-32, now under 6 minutes left. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling as Lainey Burks puts a bank shot in the free throw lane. Another bucket for her, and she has 22 points on the contest. Shayna Graff with the ball in the right corner for River Ridge, dribbles in the lane, puts up a left-handed hook shot, and gets fouled in the lane. 19th foul for Lancaster of the half. They're one away from being in the double bonus, and the third foul going to be called against Jenna Wolf. Graff misses the first free throw. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. Trust the pros at Hermson's for assistance with your next ag, commercial, or residential project. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center, Bloomington, family owned since 1942. Shayna Graff does get the second free throw to go, and River Ridge comes away with the turnover. Slayton drives in the lane, puts up a left-handed shot, and she gets fouled, and now that's team foul number 10 for Lancaster. Lancaster with a 14-point lead, 47-33, but the foul trouble really starting to add up now for the Flying Arrows. Foul is against Annie Martin as Slayton misses the first free throw. And the second one is good. Slayton now with 5 points on the game. And she is 1 of 4 now at the free throw line. 5:10 remaining, 47-34. Lancaster on top of River Ridge. Non-conference girls basketball tonight on the X Extreme 107.1. Tyler Dictanis with you as a drive towards the basket for Burks results in a foul for River Ridge as some contact made right at the free throw line. Second personal foul for Shayna Graff, fourth team foul for River Ridge of the half. As Jenna Wolf dribbles on the right side of the lane, tries to pass it to Morgan, but it's stolen away by River Ridge. Coming away with the steal was Reagan Zinkel. Slayton between the circles, gives to the right side to Zinkel, now back to the left wing for Graff. Graff stops her dribble, left side of the lane, puts up a scoop layup, overshoots the rim. And Lancaster there for the rebound. Bowen hauls it in for the Flying Arrows. Burks tosses it to Bowen on the left side. Burks gets it back, being guarded by Slayton. Burks goes behind the back momentarily. Now a crossover dribble into the lane. Left-handed layup is good. Lainey Burks with 24 points on the game. And it's 49-34. Lancaster pulling away from River Ridge as Burks comes away with another steal. And Burks puts it off the glass and in on the fast break. 51-34, under 4 minutes left, and Lancaster looking to keep their winning streak alive. This will be win number 4 in a row for the Flying Arrows. As the three-pointer straight ahead, back iron no for Worley, and a scramble for the rebound goes into the hands of Bowen for Lancaster. River Ridge has had a 4-game winning streak of their own. And after this game, River Ridge will take on Shullsburg Friday night in Patch Grove. We'll have that one for you on WGLN, the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Three-pointer put up on the left side by Bowen off the side of the rim. Morgan there for the rebound. Can't get the second chance to go. And Zinkel hauls it in for River Ridge as we close in on 3 minutes remaining. Timeout taken by Ronnie Zinkel of River Ridge. 3:07 remaining. Lancaster 51, River Ridge 34. We'll keep it here. Gives us a chance to thank our sponsors at Route 35 Pub and Pizza. Come see them Tuesday through Sunday. Enjoy fried cod or catfish on Friday nights and their great pizza and other menu items anytime. Like them on Facebook for specials and updates. Route 35 Pub and Pizza in Bloomington. River of Lakes Resort for family-friendly camping and excellent fishing in the backwaters of the Mississippi. Get away at River of Lakes Resort. Learn more at rolcamp.com. River of Lakes Resort in Bagley. Sire T Auto Body Complete Collision Repair with PPG paint warranty, spray and bed liners, free pickup and delivery, and loaner cars too. Sire T's also handles your claim process. Call Eric at Sire T's in Bloomington. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. Trust the pros at Hermson's for assistance with your next ag, commercial, or residential project. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center, Bloomington, family owned since 1942. And by D&D Electric in Lancaster, specializing in industrial wiring, maintenance, install, and control. Flying Arrow proud, D&D Electric in Lancaster. River Ridge has possession of the basketball coming out of the timeout. River Ridge does have one timeout remaining. As Worley has the ball, right wing, puts up a three, back iron, no. Abby Worley tries to get the rebound over Rose White, but White hauls it in for Lancaster, and Annie Martin's going to run it up the floor for the Flying Arrows. Lainey Burks is on the bench now for Lancaster as Mandy Worley pokes it away momentarily from Cassie Nemitz, but Annie Martin has the basketball now for Lancaster, and Sletton tries to poke it away for a moment. Foul going to be called against Sletton. That would be her fourth personal. Stops the clock with exactly 2.5 minutes left in the game. Lancaster 51, River Ridge 34. Lancaster just trying to close it out. Get their fourth consecutive win before they take on Dodgeville Friday. And a shot made by Rose White. A 2-point field goal, giving her 3 points on the game, and it's a 53-34 lead for the Flying Arrows. Shannon Graff spins into the lane, puts up a shot off the side of the rim, and Rose White, or Annie Martin, comes down with the rebound for Lancaster. Lobs it down low to Jenna Wolf, and now a three-pointer put up from the left side by Jessica Morgan. Hits the front of the rim, goes over the backboard and out of bounds, and it looks like some more substitutions coming in now for Lancaster. Olmstead checking in, as does Bowen. And Rose White checks out, as does Jessica Morgan. And a stoppage here by the officials, as I think the clock started running a little prematurely. Play resumes with 1:40 remaining. Lancaster will improve to 9-8. They get above 500 as a shot is put up under the basket. I believe it was Sletton who put up the shot. She's going to go to the free throw line. Another foul against Lancaster in the half. It's double bonus. And the first personal foul goes against Bowen. As some more substitutions now. Annie Martin goes to the bench. Checking in is number 22, who is not listed, or beg your pardon, that's Ava Green. Free throw is made by Sletton. Makes the score 53-35, a palindrome score with 90 seconds left. See if we get a palindrome final score here. Cassie Nemitz throws in the inbound to Olmstead. Olmstead crosses over Zinkel. Hands off to the left side to Green. You have a Green trapped in the left corner. Tries to lob it down low to Cassie Nemitz, who loses it out of bounds. Turnover Lancaster. Game tonight brought to you by Claire Bank with their 8 locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proudly supporting our area's high school sports teams. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Shannon Graff hands off to Worley. Open three. Swishes that one. Mandy Worley with her second three-pointer of the game. That gives her 6 points, 53-38. Is the score with under 50 seconds left as a held ball under the basket gives the possession to River Ridge. Game tonight brought to you by Abra Auto Body Repair, a division of Anderson Weber Toyota in Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. Community First Bank for you and the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Shannon Graff has the ball slown away out of her hands. 1-on-2 opportunity coming back. Nice pass. Nearly a good finish for Cassie Nemitz, and a volleyball for the rebound goes into the hands of Abby Worley with 20 seconds remaining. Mentioned earlier, Lancaster goes to 9-8. River Ridge will fall to 11-6 as a shot put up from the right side of the lane is good for Reagan Zinkel. She will finish with 14 points. And our final score here at Lancaster High School, the Flying Arrows defeat River Ridge 53-40. Game tonight brought to you by Myers Heating and Cooling, servicing Southwest Wisconsin since 1999. Myers Heating and Cooling, where they say, don't worry, we got this. Mountain City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center. Experience the difference. Russell Law Office is here to assist you as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, personal injury, and more. Proudly serving Southern Wisconsin, Russell Law Offices. Coming up, we'll have the Culver's Cool Down post-game show. Check in on the Shoebox scoreboard. We'll tell you what we have on our Queen Bee Radio Sports coverage coming up for the remainder of the week. We'll get to all of that and more on our Culver's Cool Down postgame show coming up next on the X, Extreme 1071, x1071.com, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Lancaster defeats River Ridge 53-40 in non-conference girls basketball tonight. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling here on the X, Extreme 1071, x1071.com, streaming worldwide on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Game tonight brought to you by People's State Bank. For personal, home, business, and ag loans, visit one of their 20 area locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. And if you missed any part of tonight's action or any of our other high school sports broadcasts, you can listen back to the recordings anytime and on demand on the Queen Bee Radio Sports SoundCloud page. Just go to soundcloud.com/Queen Bee Radio Sports. Again, we'll have some of those games for you on SoundCloud tomorrow and Thursday. We'll get caught up on getting those recordings on SoundCloud. Game tonight also brought to you by Claire Bank with their 8 locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proudly supporting our area's high school sports teams. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Shoebox scoreboard update presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Over on Super Hits 106, the final score in boys hoops. Scales Mound defeats Benton 70-48. Again, coming up, we'll have the Culver's Cool Down post-game show. We'll see if we can maybe catch up with Coach Courtney Feller of Lancaster, talk about her team's victory tonight over River Ridge. This was a very intriguing matchup coming into it, and a close game throughout the first half, but then Lancaster was able to pull away in the second half. We'll see if Coach Feller will join us on our Culver's School Down postgame show coming up in just a moment. We'll take a break and have more on the Culver's School Down postgame show after this on the X Extreme 1071 and X1071.com. (53-40), Lancaster defeats River Ridge in non-conference girls basketball tonight on the X Extreme 1071 and X1071.com. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball is presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling. The Culver's Cool Down postgame show coming up next on the X Extreme 1071 and X1071.com.
Giraffe. You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you know the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right. Visit NHTSA.gov. Slash the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Visit managerbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at rotary.org/action.
We've all seen it. People who thought COVID was a myth. I thought the vaccine was a hoax. It's hard to breathe, but don't try to kill you. in just one way. They try to kill you in multiple ways.
Now her whole family has tested positive for COVID-19. That vaccine could have stopped all of this.
I would definitely have opted to get it.
If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated.
Call the COVID-19 hotline at 1-800-232-0233.
David Paul Zinger welcoming you back to the Healthy Stand Classic. We couldn't ask for better conditions. 68 degrees from a UV index of 3. This direct exposure to midday sun could be increasing her risk to melanoma. It looks like she's making a change. Now let's see what she takes out. Oh, wow, looks like she's pulling out a 15. I don't know, looks like she's going with a 30. Strong choice. Incredible.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
Teachers shape the future. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who make preventing pandemics their life's work. Sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who'll help combat climate change. And generating possibilities for a student who'll be the first in their family to graduate college. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Craig Culver of Culver's.
Times have changed since Mom first created Culver's Double Butter Burger Deluxe, but one thing sure hasn't.
Craig, what would you like to share for show and tell?
This is a butter burger. Fresh beef, never frozen, seared to perfection, topped with real Wisconsin cheese on a lightly buttered bun.
Hungry? Stop in for one today.
It's time for the Culver's Cool Down Postgame Show, brought to you by Culver's in Dubuque, Galena, Platteville, and Prairie du Chien.
Culver's Cool Down post-game show from Lancaster High School. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling. The Flying Arrows knock off River Ridge 53-40 in tonight's non-conference matchup. And we are now joined by the player of the game, Lainey Burks. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the game and happy birthday to you as well. 24 points, not a bad way to celebrate the birthday. And I'll tell you, kind of watching the game, especially in the second half, it really felt like you were telegraphing any pass that River Ridge was trying to make. You came away with quite a few steals, some fast break opportunities back the other way. Seemed like a relatively easy performance almost, or at least you made it look easy. Talk a little bit about what you saw on the floor and what you thought of tonight's performance.
Yeah, so I had a lot of good steals, mostly from reading the passes, and we had a lot of help defense, so the passes were tough, so we got a hold of them. I tried to include my teammates, and they got me the ball a lot, which helped. So, yeah, it was just a good team playing tonight, so.
Yeah, and I think one of the underrated moments maybe of the game was to close out the first half when you were driving into the lane. You went behind the back, and then I think you finished with a left-handed layup with when the time expired. I mean, it seemed like you were just kind of a maestro in a lot of ways, just, able to do exactly what you wanted to do, which is not easy to do against a River Ridge defense as sound as they are. What went into, the scouting and being able to do what you needed to do? Scoring 24 points against River Ridge is no easy task for any player whatsoever, and you made it look flawless.
Thank you. So we knew that their defense was pretty tough, but if you drove in, there's a lot of good kickouts. When I drove in, I just was able to put up a lot of the shots. I think they were looking for the kickouts a lot, and I was just able to lay it up pretty easy.
All right, and, today is your birthday. That is a great way to finish off your birthday today. 24 points, a game high. Got some assistance from your teammates, and this really was kind of an overall team effort. I do know, individually, stat-wise, the 24 points is really going to stand out, but how did your teammates help you out tonight?
Oh, for sure. They found me the ball a lot of the time. I tried to help them get the ball as much as they could. A lot of my teammates hit down some really good shots, so definitely a team effort tonight. So. Yep, and now a 4-game winning streak. Your team is above 500. You're going to pick up some of the conference play coming up. What's the optimism with this team now? I mean, you found the winning ways again after that 6-game losing streak. Things seem to be going in your favor. Just try to carry that momentum into conference play. Is that not the case? Yeah, I think every single practice we go in there with working harder than the day before. We're definitely having a lot more fun now, but it's going well. We're enjoying the season for sure.
Yeah, winning's a lot more fun, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Lainey. And again, happy birthday. Congratulations on the performance tonight and the victory.
Thank you.
All right, Lainey Burks, kind enough to join us on the Culver School Down post-game show. We'll now bring in head coach Courtney Feller of the Flying Arrows. And, Coach, this was a gritty performance in the first half. You know, a lot of easy shots for both teams not going down.
Yep.
You know, somehow able to come away with a 5-point lead going into halftime, and then things really started to turn for you. We do need to pick out a tri-court turning point for our game. Was there kind of a specific moment or kind of a series of events that kind of stood out to you when the game really pivoted in Lancaster's favor the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think maybe our defense in the second half, once we went to kind of trapping the ball, getting some steals off that, turning points in the transition, that we were actually finishing those layups.
Right. Yeah, and talk about Laney's performance. I mean, you know, looking back at, you know, the last game against Belleville, I mean, Jessica Morgan, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and now tonight it was Laney's night with 24 points. It's got to feel good knowing that you have a couple different options. Jenna Wolf is also a really good player in her own right. Talk a little bit about how Laney's performance was really the catalyst for your team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice too, like you said, when we've got multiple girls that can just have themselves a game. And I think we got a really unselfish team. So they're pretty good about tonight was Laney's night. So they're getting her the ball. Okay, Laney was transitioning her steals into points. But again, it just comes down to these girls being unselfish and just playing as a team and being happy for each other.
Yeah, but I was just, you know, talking with Laney a second ago. You know, it really did seem like she was telegraphing almost any path when River Ridge was coming across the court. Was there just something that kind of stood out, you know, scouting them, or was it just something that you kind of picked up during the game where Laney was just kind of locked in and able to disrupt their offensive momentum?
Yeah, I mean, Laney's a competitor, so I think once she kind of realized, too, just to kind of bait them into making those long passes, and then she just kind of jumped them. She's quick, too, so she can almost make you feel like you're open for a second, and then she can jump right in that passing lane and go grab the ball.
Yep, so 4 wins in a row, and you know, like I said, mentioned Laney, you know, winning is definitely a lot more fun than losing, and I think things, you know, really starting to turn in Lancaster's favor, and now you have, you know, that second half of the conference coming up, some tough competition. I know Platteville is going to be coming up next week as well. Dodgeville coming up for you soon as well. Talk a little bit about, you know, the next upcoming games. What are the things that you're trying to sustain and maybe some things that you're trying to tweak as you head into a tougher part of your schedule with the second round of the conference coming up?
Right, yeah, we've got Dodgeville on Friday, and we played them the first time well. We weren't playing our best basketball then, but we're expecting another competitive game Friday. And like Laney mentioned, too, just to come to practice every day, ready to work hard. Again, we pride ourselves in our steals on defense. Sometimes we're not super pleased with our man-to-man defense. But again, just kind of locking down, getting tough, taking away straight-line drives. But again, a competitive conference, and we're ready to compete.
Yep, it certainly looks like it. Your team certainly looks the part. Congratulations again on the win.
Yes, thank you.
On the winning streak, and we're looking forward to covering some more games for you the rest of the way.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, that was head coach Courtney Feller of the Lancaster Flying Arrows, the victorious head coach as River Ridge falls to Lancaster 53-40. Thanks a lot, Coach, for joining us on the Culver School Down post-game show. Let's recap the individual scoring for Lancaster again. Laney Burks, the game high, 24 points. She was the only player in double figures for Lancaster tonight, but certainly got some helpful contributions from the likes of Jenna Wolf with 7 points, all of them coming in the second half. 5 points for Cassie Nemitz, all of those points coming in the first half. 4 points for Jessica Morgan. 3 points apiece for Eden Bowen and Rose White and Annie Martin. And then 2 points for Mallory Olmstead, going 2 of 4 at the free throw line in the first half. Other players who saw action but did not score include number 22, Ava Green, who was not listed on my program originally, but the updated one she is. So Ava Green saw some action. And that's all I have as far as players who saw action for Lancaster. And for River Ridge. River Ridge was led in scoring tonight by Shayna Graff. Have Shayna Graff down for 12 points. Actually, Reagan Zinkel was the leading scorer with 14. Shanna Graff finished with 12. And 3 points for Jessica Patterson. 6 points apiece for Melissa Sletton and Mandy Worley. Braylon Quick saw some action but did not score. Lydia Mason checked in for a few moments, did not score. And Haley Woodruff was in for a couple possessions throughout the game and did not score for River Ridge. Lancaster improves to 9-8 overall on the season, riding that 4-game winning streak. They'll have Dodgeville Friday night, and then they will take on Platteville a week from Thursday. We will have that game for you on Extreme 107.1 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And then they will have a non-conference game on February 7th against Potosi Cassville. Meanwhile, for River Ridge, they fall to 11-6 overall. Their 4-game winning streak comes to an end. They will take on Shalsburg in Six Rivers West Conference play on Friday night. We'll have that game for you over on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And then on Monday, they will be at Riverdale in non-conference action. And then a week from Thursday at Potosi Cassville, we intend to carry that game on 97.7 Country WGLR. Again, our Culver's Cool Down postgame show presented by Culver's in Dubuque, Galena, and Platteville. And Coach Feller talked about our Tricor turning point, the defense for Lancaster in the second half, coming up with multiple steals and fast break opportunities to break the lead wide open for Lancaster. So that's our Tricor turning point tonight, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. Looking ahead to other games that we have on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations, as I had the schedule and I lost it, and I will get it back right here. So, coming up tomorrow, Badgers men's basketball, they will play at Maryland, 5 o'clock. The tip time over on ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL. And then on Thursday night, boys hoops, Dodgeville at Platteville. That'll be a fun matchup on 97.7 Country WGLR. And then basketball at Cuba City in Swall Boys Hoops. We'll have that one on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Friday night, Shalsburg at River Ridge, like I mentioned earlier, on 97.7 Country WGLR. And then Platteville at Prairie du Chien in girls basketball. That's going to be the battle for the top of the SWC. We'll have that one on Extreme 107.1 and X1071.com. Raleigh Cheese pregame coverage for all of those games starting after 6:40. And then on Saturday, we have the SWC Duels, high school wrestling, grappler radio all day long on WGLR. Teams competing include Lancaster, River Valley, Dodgeville, Prairie du Chien, Belmont Platteville, Richland Center, and it's all at Dodgeville. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage of that starting at 8:40 with Raleigh Cheese pre-match coverage, and the wrestling action starts at 9. Again, we'll have that coverage all day long on 97.7 Country WGLR. And that will wrap up our broadcast tonight. Thank you to Brett Rollins and the entire staff here at Lancaster High School for being gracious hosts as always, and thank you to Rob Callahan for helping us with all we needed to get things set up for our YouTube stream on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, as well as the Lancaster Community School YouTube page. Thank you, Rob Callahan, for your assistance there. Thank you to both head coaches, Courtney Feller for pregame and postgame interviews, as well as Ronnie Zinkel for the pregame interview. A special shout out to Laney Burks for joining us on the Culver's Cool Down postgame show for an interview as well. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you for listening. This has been Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school girls basketball, presented by Wolf Construction and Myers Heating and Cooling on the X, Extreme 107.1 WPVL FM Platteville, a Queen Bee radio station. Again, the final score here from Lancaster High School: the Flying Arrows defeat the River Ridge Timberwolves 53-40 in non-conference girls action. From the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, my name is Tyler Dictanis. Thank you so much for listening and watching along on YouTube, and good night from Lancaster High School.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School